If you want to pass a pedestrian who is walking along the roadway and an oncoming vehicle is approaching, you should A. Slow down and let the oncoming vehicle pass before you pass the pedestrian. B. Keep driving at a steady speed. The oncoming vehicle must stop for you. C. Honk your horn to get the pedestrian to move over. A. Slow down and let the oncoming vehicle pass before you pass the pedestrian. If possible, try to only deal with one roadway hazard at a time. If you want to pass a pedestrian but an oncoming vehicle is approaching, slow down and let the vehicle pass. You may then pass the pedestrian if it is safe to do so. If your wheels drop off the roadway or pavement edge, you should A. Wait until it is safe to do so, then gradually re-enter the roadway. B. Turn back onto the roadway immediately. C. Stop. Which of the following are factors commonly contributing to traffic crashes? A. Exceeding the posted speed limit and driving too fast for conditions or circumstances. B. Getting adequate rest and staying alert. C. Scanning the environment and staying focused on the driving task. A. Exceeding the posted speed limit and driving too fast for conditions or circumstances. Driving above the speed limit, driving too far below the speed limit, and driving too fast for conditions are all actions that commonly contribute to traffic accidents. Always drive with the general flow of traffic, within legal speed limits. You are approaching an intersection with a steady yellow traffic light. If you have not already entered the intersection, you should A. Speed up to beat the red light. B. Reduce your speed and proceed carefully through the intersection. C. Come to a safe stop.
Want to ace your DMV test? Go to cheatsheets.com and get your guaranteed cheat sheet.
Changing from one lane to another is best done A. Quickly and often. B. When a car is in your blind spot. C. Gradually and carefully. C. Gradually and carefully. You should always change lanes gradually and carefully. Only change lanes when necessary. Every lane change increases the possibility of a traffic accident. You are coming to an intersection with a flashing red light. You should A. Slow down and yield the right of way. B. Slow down and drive carefully through the intersection. C. Come to a complete stop, check the traffic, and go when it is safe to do so. C. Come to a complete stop, check the traffic, and go when it is safe to do so. A flashing red traffic light means the same thing as a stop sign. You must come to a complete stop, yield to other traffic and pedestrians, and then proceed when it's safe to do so. When driving in fog, you should A. Slow down and use your low beam headlights. B. Slow down and use your high beam headlights. C. Turn your lights on and off to warn other drivers. A. Slow down and use your low beam headlights. When driving in fog, you should slow down and use your low beam headlights. If the fog is so bad that you cannot see, pull off the road and wait for the fog to clear. On a freeway, you should look farther ahead than you would on a city street. A. In order to see potential hazards early. B. Because it takes a quarter of a mile to stop your vehicle completely. C. Because it helps you keep up with traffic. A. In order to see potential hazards early. On the freeway, be ready for changes in traffic conditions. Watch for signals from other drivers. Expect merging vehicles at on-ramps and interchanges and be prepared for rapid changes in road conditions and traffic flow. Drivers are required to obey instructions from a. Security guards patrolling parking lots. b. Other drivers whose vehicles are broken down on the roadway. c. Flaggers signal persons at construction sites. c. Flaggers signal persons at construction sites. Drivers must obey special signs or instructions given by flaggers. They are in place to keep drivers and workers safe. It is more dangerous to drive at night than during the day because a. You cannot see as far ahead at night. b. The road is always more slippery at night. c. Your reaction time is slower at night. a. You cannot see as far ahead at night. With decreased visibility and the glare of oncoming headlights, you cannot see as far ahead at night as you can during the day. Always use headlights and exercise caution when driving in the dark. A curb painted red means a. Loading zone. b. The area is reserved for picking up or dropping off passengers. c. No parking, standing, or stopping. c. No parking, standing, or stopping. You may not stop, stand, or park at a red painted curb. When driving on a slippery surface, such as snow or ice. a. Shift to a low gear before going down steep hills. b. Maintain traction by following other vehicles closely. c. Pump your brakes to keep them from freezing. a. Shift to a low gear before going down steep hills. To prevent skidding on slippery surfaces, you should shift to a low gear before going down a steep hill. You should also follow farther behind the vehicle in front of you than you normally would. Quick stops should be avoided. Unless you have anti-lock brakes, pump the brakes to slow or stop. If you are driving and the rear end of your car starts skidding to the left, you should a. Steer to the right. b. Steer to the left. c. Tap your brakes lightly and shift into neutral. b. Steer to the left. If your vehicle enters a skid, you should take your foot off of the brake and steer in the direction that you want to go. For example, if the rear of your vehicle is skidding to the left, you should steer to the left. This will help bring the front of the vehicle in line with the rear, thereby straightening out the vehicle's overall direction. A conviction of driving under the influence (DUI) is determined by a blood alcohol concentration of a. 0.05%, b. 0.08%, c. 50%, b. 0.08%. Driving with a blood alcohol concentration (BAC) of 0.08% is always illegal in Tennessee. Drivers under age 21 will face stiff penalties for having a BAC as low as 0.02%. It is possible to be convicted of driving under the influence even if your BAC is below the legal limit. It is illegal to park a. Within 15 feet of a fire hydrant. b. Within 50 feet of a railroad crossing. c. Both of the above. c. Both of the above. There are a number of locations where it is illegal for drivers to park their vehicles. Drivers may not park within 15 feet of a fire hydrant or within 50 feet of a railroad crossing. When parking next to a curb, you should use your turn signals. a. Only when pulling away from the curb. b. When pulling next to, but not away from, the curb. C. When pulling next to or away from the curb. C. When pulling next to or away from the curb. Drivers should signal when pulling next to a curb or away from a curb. A U-turn is not permitted. A. In a parking lot. B. On or near any curve or hill. C. On a straight roadway with a clear view for 500 feet in both directions. B. On or near any curve or hill. You must never turn around while on or near any curve or hill. You may not be able to see oncoming traffic or pedestrians and may cause a collision. Give the right of way to any pedestrian who is A. In a marked crosswalk. B. In any crosswalk or intersection. C. Crossing any street. C. Crossing any street. Drivers must yield the right of way to pedestrians who are crossing the street in any marked or unmarked crosswalk. In the interest of safety, drivers should yield the right of way to people crossing any street. If a child is about to run into the street, you should A. Start to prepare to slow down. B. Flash your headlights. C. Sound a sharp blast of your horn. C. Sound a sharp blast of your horn. If there is danger, you may need to sound a sharp blast on your horn. Do this when a child or any other pedestrian is about to enter into the street in front of your moving vehicle. This road sign means A. The roadway ends ahead. B. Drivers must bear either right or left. C. A four-way intersection is ahead. B. Drivers must bear either right or left. Warning signs are usually yellow with black markings. This sign warns drivers that they are arriving upon a fork in the road and they must bear either right or left. What message will be found on this yellow pennant-shaped sign? A. Right turns only. B. Right turns permitted. C. No passing zone. C. No passing zone. Pennant-shaped yellow signs like this are used to indicate a no passing zone. As your speed increases, it is important to A. Turn on your headlights. B. Look well ahead of your vehicle. C. Change lanes frequently. B. Look well ahead of your vehicle. Your vehicle's stopping distance increases as your speed increases. When driving at high speeds, it is important to look well ahead of your vehicle to allow yourself space to safely react to hazardous situations. This road sign means A. All traffic must turn right. B. All traffic must go straight. C. A side road intersects ahead. C. A side road intersects ahead. Warning signs provide notice to road users of a situation that might not be readily apparent and are usually yellow with black markings. This warning sign tells drivers to be alert to an intersecting side road ahead. Which of the following driving skills are affected by the use of alcohol and/or drugs? A. Alertness and concentration. B. Reaction time and coordination. C. All of the above. C. All of the above. Any amount of alcohol acts as a depressant, slowing the function of the nervous system. It will reduce a person's alertness and ability to concentrate, increase their reaction time, and drastically reduce their coordination. No zones are areas around trucks where cars A. disappear into blind spots or are so close that they restrict the truck driver's ability to stop and maneuver safely. B. Have sufficient space to travel behind the truck. C. Have several car lengths between their vehicle and the truck. Remove all snow, frost, and ice from A. Just the windshield. B. All windows. C. Just the windshield and passenger window. B. All windows. It is important that you are able to see clearly through all of your vehicle's windows, including the windshield. Remove all snow, ice, and frost from your vehicle's windows and mirrors before you start to drive. The implied consent law means that A. If asked, you will take a test to determine the alcohol or drug content of your blood. B. Traffic laws apply at an intersection, even without any signs, markings, or signals present. C. If asked, you don't have to agree to a test to determine the alcohol or drug content of your blood. A. If asked, you will take a test to determine the alcohol or drug content of your blood. The implied consent law means that, by driving a vehicle in Tennessee, you give your consent to be tested to determine the drug or alcohol content of your blood. This sign means A. Do not drink and drive. B. Slippery when wet. C. Road curves ahead. B. Slippery when wet. Warning signs are usually yellow with black markings. They alert you to conditions that are immediately ahead. This sign warns that the roadway is slippery when wet. A sign with this shape means A. No passing zone. B. Right turn permitted on red. C. Yield right of way. To be able to turn quickly, your hands must be A. On opposite sides of the steering wheel. B. Next to each other on the top of the steering wheel. C. On the top and bottom of the steering wheel. A. On opposite sides of the steering wheel. Both hands should be placed on opposite sides of the steering wheel. This position is comfortable and promotes safe turning on high-speed roadways.